Hello, everybody. Docion here. Weird Spins. Today I'll plan on doing, well, tomorrow when it arrives. Right now I'm just a little sweaty. I have a Mondo mystery box coming in. I've never gotten a mystery box from a company before. It's a grab bag. It says you get 5 albums, could include doubles, could include box sets, could include test pressings. I have no idea what's going to be in there. All I know is that given the choice, I decided to go with send me something that's related to sci-fi superheroes, and it said monsters. I'm assuming that means kaiju because uh, they're already covering monsters. Otherwise, I would imagine in horror packs, but kaiju doesn't really apply to horror, at least to me. So maybe that's what they mean. Uh, and I didn't want to get a horror pack because I've already got a lot of horror related soundtracks. And I'm going to go over some of my favorites today. I just did a separation and have set aside a box that's all exclusively Mondo and Death Waltz label stuff. And some of it's under license, like this first one is actually just an under license issue, but it's a Mondo Death Waltz exclusive for color. We got Return to the Living Dead soundtrack, just of course the songs, so you've got the Cramps on here and SSQ and all the things that you are familiar with this great 80s punk rock pop soundtrack. It's just a great album. There's not a bad song on it, and it's on Brains colored vinyl. How cool is that? So Mondo, coming for your brains. Love that movie. Love the songs in that movie. Corniest thing in the world, and just absolutely cherish it. Screenwriter was one of the cast members of John Carpenter's Dark Star and went on to write the screenplay for Ridley Scott's Alien. He was also the director on that, actually, the screenwriter. All right, next one up. We Are Still Here. This movie is pretty fascinating. I'd say that it's got a sense of humor. It leans into camp a little bit because it's a ghost story with embellishment of hippie, spirit seer people and everything. So they put in some laughs. It stars Barbara Crampton, who you may know from Reanimator. She was quite the scream queen for Full Moon and Empire Pictures for some time, but she's a better actress than many of the people that kind of get niched into that. She's a very good actress. So, you can invest in a film that she's in, and you're probably going to get a better product than some of the stuff that you might see with some of the other people that kind of have that label. Kind of like Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis gets labeled Scream Queen, but she's in all kinds of stuff, and she's done all kinds of really great performances. All right, so We Are Still Here. It is an homage to Lucio Fulci's House by the Cemetery. Not related to the film at all, but it uses a lot of the same characters' names, and the visual aesthetic in it is outrageous. The ghosts, when they finally appear, I won't give it away, but let's just say that you've never seen anything like them in anything else, and they are legitimately scary looking. I have to admit, I'm really impressed with them. The record itself is beautiful, clear black and red mix. The music is very ambient. It's edgy, but it's ambient. It's not a whole bunch of noise. There's some melody there, and it sounds almost muted. Very, very nice score. Very, very nice film. Worth checking out. And you can probably pick the movie up online for as little as $5 or $6 shipped on eBay if you get a used copy on DVD. That's what I did because I was dying to see the thing for the longest time, and it just did not turn up in the local vending machines at the time, and I wasn't streaming at the time, so I just went online and purchased one and was very pleased with it. All right, here we have Incubo sulla città contaminata. This is Nightmare City, also known as City of the Walking Dead by the great Stelvio Cipriani. And it's a double LP on these stunning sort of neon green translucent radioactive discs. And the music itself has a tiny edge of Latin vibe and undercurrent, but at the same time There's that Goblin aesthetic there. There's a little bit of the John Carpenter there. So it's got rock in it. It's got that progressive vibe and a little bit of jazz in it. And yet it's still dark and eerie and moody and ominous. It's a beautiful soundtrack for a really, really over-the-top movie. One of those movies that basically has no plot to get in the way of the action, which is one of my favorite types. Now, a slightly more storied zombie movie, we have The Living Dead at the Manchester Morgue. I think I may have shown this on a prior video. This is on a really, really dark green, so dark it'll probably look black. Yeah, kind of looks black in the video. But this is a Spanish-made film, a Spanish-Italian co-production that was shot in Britain, sometimes called Let Sleeping Corpses Lie, sometimes called The Living Dead at the Manchester Morgue. Original title, No Profanar el Sueños de los Muertos. Very, very edgy and eerie, nightmarish zombie film taking place away from the cities with a machine that's using sound waves or some kind of radiation that's supposed to destroy insects, and instead it winds up resurrecting rather angry cadavers and making infants homicidal. A strange twist. Apparently because their nervous systems and brains are still so simple that they're more like the dead, receptive to its driving force. Next up, Zombie Holocaust. I love this movie. It's a piece of crap. It was shot on the same locations as Lucio Fulci's Zombie. Just my opinion. A lot of people that are fans of the genre will come at me and go, you can't say Zombie Holocaust is a piece of crap. It's a piece of crap. It's a juicy, gory, disgusting piece of crap that mashes up Lucio Fulci's Zombie with a Ruggiero Dotto or Umberto Lenzi cannibal adventure film. So you've got people running back and forth. They're going to deal with the mad scientist on the island who's making the zombies, and the zombies actually, when you think back on it afterwards, they're scary looking, but they never really attack anybody. They're just kind of standing around. Those cannibals, on the other hand, those guys are eating eyeballs. They are mean-spirited. So there's a lot of action and adventure. Again, very little plot to get in the way of the action. A lot of obligatory nudity. And the music on this is by Nico Fedenko, who's probably best known for doing scores for some of the Emmanuel films with Laura Gemser and that sort of thing. So it has a very exotica kind of vibe to it. In fact, one of the main melodies in this is actually a reworking of music that appears in Emmanuel and the Last Cannibals as I'm your queen, you're my king, or something like that. The discs on this, we have, I was talking about this in the last video too. This one's got sort of speckling like a Easter egg. I wish I could get some light behind it. That would be good. It's really pretty. It's hard to tell there. And the other one is a splatter effect, which I confused this with the Fabio Frizzi concert album. But this one is kind of interesting because it's red in the splatter on one side and blue on the other. And I'm not sure how they achieved that within a single disc. It's sort of a neat effect. This was a Christmas gift, and I'm very fond of it and very fond of the music. This is your original old school John Carpenter Halloween 2, and it sounds great. The same company produced an Omen score that's got a red stripe, and it did not sound great, so I was disappointed. This has got a red stripe, blue stripe, orange stripe, and it sounds perfect. Great soundtrack. Everybody knows the Halloween music, so you can't miss it. That score is almost identical to the original film score. It's just more electronic driven, less piano driven. Here we have The Church, produced by Dario Argento, directed by the legendary Michele Soavi, who brought us Della Morte Della More, also known as The Cemetery Man and The Sect. Argento producing this one. The music is by a collaboration of Goblin and Keith Emerson, so you cannot go wrong with that. And it's on a really simple, basic translucent blue vinyl. Beautiful record, beautiful movie. The movie is kind of a spin-off of Lamberto Bava's Demons cycle. It's very much got the same sort of premise going on, but it's a bit more artsy. Here we have a Goblin EP that was being sold for their tour in 2013, so it just has some versions of music from Deep Red, Suspiria, a couple of other things, and it's kind of a red inside of red, opaque inside of translucent. It's kind of hard to tell there, so it looks like a little bit of a puddle. But that's 45 RPM. It's just got 4 cuts, but it's very nice. Here we have Shock, Transfer Suspense Hypnos. This is a Mario Bava film that was marketed as a sequel here, retitled as Beyond the Door 2. There was recently a movie called The Prodigy that featured a scene in the trailer, the trailer flooded everywhere, where a child basically turns into an adult man on camera. Mario Bava did that first in this movie and did so very effectively using 0 CGI, which I can't say that for The Prodigy. This was done with all practical effects. It was actually nothing more than choreographed movement between 2 actors and camera framing, and it's so beautifully done. It's just absolutely startling. The music itself, the movie does have other weaknesses, is by a prog band out of Italy called Libra, and it's very much in the style of Goblin. So if you like Goblin, you will like the soundtrack album. It's very good. Here we have one of Death Waltz's one-off record store day records. I'm not sure which one I've got here. I've got 2. Yeah, this is Walter Rosati. So this is music from not Escape from the Bronx Warriors. And it's just really pretty. Look at that thing. The music on it just absolutely rocks. Futuristic, Italian prog pop feel just pounding away. Here we have another Stelvio Cipriani. This one kind of in the style of Goblin again. This is Bloodstained Shadow, and it's a really, really fascinating color vinyl mix. What they did, it's a pinwheel, sort of, or a color wheel. So we have 3 colors with black, blue, and red, and it plays flawlessly. Isn't that a pretty thing? The music that is on this was recycled, more famously used in a movie called Pieces. Music from this soundtrack and a Carlo Maria Cordio score for a movie called Absurd, or Anthropophagus 2, were combined and make up the soundtrack for the movie Pieces, which is a more popular film, I think, than either of those. This one is a gift from my friend Ian, and this is great. This is a soundtrack for both Scanners and The Brood on a single disc. Really, really, really weird ambient stuff, and it's hard to tell in there. It's got just a tinge of a splatter effect going on in it, but it's very, very, very stylish record too. And all of these, almost all of these albums are gatefolds with beautiful interiors. So, I mean, if I didn't have a lot to get to with the unboxing going to be on the end of this, and I don't want it to run overly long, I would show more of these. Cannibal Apocalypse. This is one of my favorite records. The music on this, who did this actually? I'm guilty of listening to this every day. Oh, Blanksteiner. This is done by the co-composer of House by the Cemetery. Worked with Walter Rosati on House by the Cemetery. The music on this is like pure action movie funk and rock, and it's so juicy. Everything on this album, from the ballads to the funk bass and bongos being used, just everything in it is just stunning. This album, you don't have to like the movie to love this album. I can tell you that. The movie's a lot of fun too. The movie is John Saxon and a group of people chased into the underground sewers in Atlanta, Georgia after they've been infected with some high-end, very strange version of rabies, apparently. So they become like crazy cannibalistic non-vets that have all of the skills that would be taught to military, which makes them even more dangerous. It's a strange picture. There are far grosser ones, but it's definitely out there. This is one of the few superhero soundtracks that I got at the moment. I've got this and Superman 2, and I've got a couple of the Disney ones for some of the Marvel films, like the Avengers. This is on, they called it the Starfish blend, so it's just got like 5 points of pink inside of the blue, really hot pink. I'm not sure what that's about. I still haven't seen this movie. Guilty of not seeing it. I actually won this in a lot about a year and a half ago, so it cost me maybe $3, but it's still out there and still going retail for closer to $25-30. It sounds great. This is a song score. It's not an incidental orchestral score. So this has got like Johnny Cash on it. Who else on this? It says Johnny Cash, Pixies, Culture Abuse, Louis Prima, Kansas, the Decemberists, the Jim Carroll Band. So quite a few artists on there, and it's just a really beautiful looking record. This, I think, is some kind of a documentary, Room 237. The color of it is very pretty. There we go. Sort of a strawberry and orange swirl. And the music itself sounds like the guy was basically riffing on the Phantasm soundtrack. That's exactly where I put it. It's almost like he basically took the formulas of the melodies and modified it by 3 or 4 notes and put it out there, which means that technically it's really nice. It's very listenable. It's good. So I love homage soundtrack twists like that. I've done a couple of things kind of like that myself. This one is Murder in the Etruscan Cemetery. This is a Fabio Frizzi, and it's the only Mondo picture disc that I've run into. And I just love that artwork. The movie itself is a little awkward, and I think the reason for that is it was originally a mini-series that ran approximately 4 hours, and the cut that I've seen is one that was released as a regular film to foreign market with a runtime of about 80 minutes. And there's a couple of recycled tracks from other Frizzi films on this, but there are some original pieces on here as well. It's well worth checking out, and it's a really pretty looking disc. The other day when I was doing the Lucio Fulci birthday, I missed one. New York Ripper. Beautiful jazz and surf guitar and inner city vibe all the way through. It just, you can smell Manhattan listening to this soundtrack album. And it's again a green, but you can actually kind of see the green on this one. It doesn't look entirely black. Great soundtrack to probably one of the most honestly repellent movies that the man made. It's very, very brutal. This is a picture I don't think I've actually seen. One of those that I got in a lot. This is Forbidden World. And it's got this strange black and white cover. But the disc itself, I don't know if it's going to show up on here. It's called a Galaxy or Star or something like that. Yeah, you can't see it. It's basically got silver glitter in it, so it looks like you're looking at stars. Otherwise, it's traditional black. It's rather noisy from that, but the novelty is what that's about more than anything, I think. Here we have another, this one's 2014 Record Store Day one-off. Includes a poster since it's got a generic sleeve, just like the Escape from the Bronx or Bronx Warriors had. This one's got a similar color scheme, but it's only blue and black. The other one had a lot more colors in it. It had some yellows and some reds. This is Perfume of the Lady in Black. Beautiful, sweeping violin score, ideal for giallo, suspenseful, romantic, artsy. The picture itself has an art house feel to it, so it's very fitting, and it's at times a very relaxing score, and at other times just this ambient, yeah, something's unsettling, not right moments. Here we have the rich orchestral score that goes with Hammer, Twins of Evil, classic, Peter Cushing, part of the Karnstein trilogy, which was Twins of Evil, The Vampire Lovers, and Lust for a Vampire. Not in that order. I think Vampire Lovers was the first one. Beautiful, beautiful score. This is a Harry Robinson score. Very rich and orchestral. And very pretty disc with white inside of red and sort of a core splatter that kind of hazes its way out. Record sounds absolutely beautiful too. So if you like orchestral scores, that one will work out very well for you. And last but not least, we have the Sect. So I collected Mondo for a while. There's a bunch of other Mondo in there, but it's stuff that I've bypassed because I knew for sure I'd covered it in other videos, or because it was especially in the Lucio Fulci birthday video the other day. This is the other film that Argento produced for Michele Soavi, and it's on clear vinyl. The music on this, I think, is... Who did this? Is it Simonetti? I know Simonetti worked on it. Oh, Pino Donaggio. But I've heard Simonetti do some stuff that was related, so... yeah. Yeah, this is Pino Donaggio. It's very, very nice, though. This one was also a Christmas gift, and it's a very nice listen. I'm very fond of this, and I just love that cover art. It's just spectacular with Herbert Loam there. So, when I come back in a moment, we'll see what goodies showed up from Mondo in their mystery box. All right, so here we are. The moment of how cool is this going to be? This is it. This is our Mondo mystery box. Let's go ahead and see what's inside.
I hope I got something good.
Opening very carefully because I don't know how close to the surface they are, though they tend to pack everything very well. Okay. And there's our receipt on that, by the way. 0. Wonderful. We like free. Ooh, right off the top, we have a Godzilla versus Megaguirus. That is exciting. Now, I don't know if this is going to be a colored press or anything. You know, I have to look. I have to look. Music by Michiru Oshima. Oh goodness. I think this is slipcover style. I'm going to have to remove this mylar entirely from the outside, and we'll just have to polybag it after the unboxing. Alright. Slide off the little... Oh, this one's actually a slide on it. All the way around like a band. That's good. So many of them just fold over. Okay, what have we got here? Yep, it's like an Ibon sleeve if you saw those. Look at this beautiful cover inside there. Oh yeah. Love that. kind of a swirly green. Nice illustrated label. Now let's see if both of these discs look the same. That is a beautiful set, though. That is. Oh. This one is screen printed on one side, so it's a 3-sider. On the back, it's a nice screen print, silk screen. That is sweet. All right, what else we got on board? Ooh. I'm gonna have to open these up individually later on too. Hold on. It's one moment. We're gonna pause so I can put that back together. We're back. Okay, this one we have the similar outer and slides off, can slide back on. This is a really nice dread. Nice gatefold. All right. Disc 1. It's a cool tricolor. Black, yellow, and red. Disc 2. Sort of a blue marbly. A little bit of swirling in it with white. Tiny bit. Beautiful thing. Next. Last one, it looks like, because I may not have understood them right. I figured when they said, you know, your mystery box could contain box sets, could contain, you know, test pressings, whatever, that basically it meant you were going to get 5 albums, not 2 double albums and a single album, and that's 5 LPs, and there you go. But apparently that's how they do it. So this is our final one. This is Blade Runner. Black Lotus was a television presentation, but the sleeve on this thing is just stunning. This is a trifold, so art comes out and comes out, and it's just, that thing is on fire. Inside, let's see what our disc is like. Oh, that's pretty. It's not nice pink, kind of a hot pink. Really pretty thing. So that's our mystery box, and not at all disappointed because you can't beat free. I'd recommend if you catch Mondo on a sale and they're offering something like that, or there's any other promo that comes along for one, you want to tumble the dice, absolutely, because Mondo does not make bad product. You know, typically everything I've gotten from them has been really, really phenomenal. I mean, look how beautiful these things are. Absolutely breathtaking records. Well, that's it for Weird Spins, and we'll see you again real soon.